and welcome back to the Spoiler Cast, the show where we talk about movies and we don't care about spoiling them. Whoa! No, this is not October. We're recording this in April, but we are talking about a spooky movie. It's Abigail.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm jumping the gun on the title. Woo! I guess. My name is Tobias, and with him as always is my sister, trusted co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
And if you like this show, you should hit the like button. Leave a comment, hey, you guys look dumb, or your opinion on the movie is bad, or media literacy much. But if you like the show, you can also subscribe and stuff like that. Or check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. But other than that, today we're going to talk about Abigail. The new movie from the guys that made that other movie, what's it called? Ready or Not? Yeah, and the first of the new Scream movies. They have too long. Their names are too long. I can't remember them. It's
actually Matt
Benitelli-Olpin.
He did both of the Scream movies.
Oh, okay.
He's director.
Yeah.
He's director / directed by. What's the difference?
I don't know. He's credited that they credit it differently sometimes. I don't know why. Doesn't really matter.
There's two directors, so one of them is director and the other one's directed by.
Yeah, I guess.
We also have Tyler Gillett, who was involved in Ready or Not and the first Scream.
Yeah. This, however, isn't written by them. I thought it was written by them as well.
No, it's written by Stephen Shields and Guy something.
Busick.
Because
Bettinelli and whatever their name were, Gillet. No! Oh, okay! They're like,
music is involved in the other ones as well, yeah.
I thought they wrote that on them, but they have the same writers. Okay, or at least one of them. Guy Busick.
Yeah, Shields is new.
And our Christopher Murphy from Ready or Not is not here. But there is a very similar tone to this as to Ready or Not, I would say. Even I would say you could clearly tell the Scream movie they made, Scream 5.
Yeah.
It's very clearly...
There's a style.
Yeah, exactly. One that Why can't I search for Scream 5? What is this? Oh, it's because it's just called Scream, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. We have Scream 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have Scream again. And then we have Scream 6. Yeah, and Guy Busick was involved in writing the Scream as well, so that makes total sense. They're like a trio of creatives making these quirky, funny, violent horror comedies. And this is their latest one, Abigail, about a bunch of roughnecks hired by Gus from Breaking Bad to kidnap a little girl. So they can extort
ballerina.
Yeah, extort her daddy for money. Turns out though that they bit off more than they can chew, and it turns out the little lady is a vampire. Or vampire. Of some sort, yeah. This is one of those more animalistic vampires. But with the grace of like Anne Rice vampires. It's kind of a mix.
Yes.
It's 30 Days of Night. Mixed with Interview with a Vampire. It's 30 days of an interview with a vampire.
Taking place in 2 days.
Yeah. Interview with a vampire at night.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway. It turns into a cat and mouse. It's a hunt movie. It's a... I don't know what you would liken it to. My mind went to, at least for a couple of scenes, when I really liked the movie, my mind went to Alien 3. The end hunt, where they use themselves as bait to get the xenomorph into the smelter, the big oven thing.
Yeah, I guess.
When they're running through the corridor, so there's a point where they're half looking for her, half trying to like get out of there,
lure her,
and then she turns up and starts chasing the big guy, whatever his name is.
Peter.
Peter, yeah. But what's the guy's name?
Kevin
what?
Durant?
Oh,
the
Kevin
actor,
Durant.
You mean?
I was on the wrong movie. Kevin Durant. There's a lot of running through dimly lit corridors. I'm like, hey, it looks like Alien 3. I like that.
Looks like a lot of horror movies in general, to be honest, when it comes to that part specifically.
Yeah, there's lots of cliches here.
Yes.
But before we get into that, sorry, we should do this the right way. What did you think of Abigail?
I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Alright.
It's not, like, perfect. It's not elevated horror of any kind. It's just, kind of run-of-the-mill classic horror film.
Okay. Because, I'm not doubting you, but I'm just saying, I had a little conversation with our mother on the train home.
Yeah.
She called me, and she had asked you about the movie as well.
Yeah, she called me before you.
Yeah. And she said that you liked it and you thought I didn't like it as much. So she made it sound like you liked it a lot more than what you say now. I
just said I liked it.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think you liked it as much. That's literally what I said.
Well, I kind of like it the way you describe it. That's how much I like it. I thought you liked it a lot more. It felt like you liked it a lot more.
There's parts of it that I like a lot.
Okay.
But it's, it's as a whole, it's flawed, obviously. And it's, it's not something I'm going to revisit every Halloween or something. It's just one of those...
No.
I might watch it again if I want to show it to a friend who wants to watch a vampire movie.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching it again, but I'm never going to put it on myself.
No, exactly.
No. That's what I think of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine.
I really liked... Jesus Christ, cat. I really liked Abigail, the character Abigail. I loved her in general. I thought the acting was great. I thought it was a fun concept. I loved that one. I'm biased to vampires in general, to be honest. Yeah. I think they're fascinating characters.
You're a former Twilight... Twilight junkie or whatever they were called.
I had all the Twilight books. I watched all the movies way too many times. I had all of the fucking True Blood books. I even bought the special edition True Blood soda bottles. I started reading a bunch of Anne Rice, but they were a bit too difficult for me back then, I guess.
They're a little denser, yeah.
Yeah. I've always liked vampires.
Yeah.
So I like this because it's a bit of a new take on a vampire. It's not always the the sexy older man that some young girl falls in love with and can't believe he's a vampire.
Yeah, but that's where you can tell that this is a modern take.
Sure.
Made by fans of I like vampires, sort of like people who like Ghostbusters. They don't like the movie. They like Ghostbusters. Here, these people don't. This is me telling them they have bad media literacy. I gotta stop using that word because I hate it. But they I like vampires because they drink blood. They're cool and they jump around, have big teeth. Yeah, it's cool, but that's not what vampire is about. Vampire as a concept, vampire as the ancient soulless demon thing they talked about in the Sumerian times. That's not what a vampire is to them.
No, this is a modern vampire.
Yeah, and that's not what I don't know. You can, of course, you can do different takes on a vampire. Just vampire as an animal. For me at least. This is me then. That's why I didn't like the movie as much. I think that's whatever. That's cool. It can be fun.
Yeah.
But I prefer vampire as a curse. Vampire as
the classic.
Yes.
Dracula vampire style.
Yeah, where it's a disease. It's a metaphor for like lust basically. Or something like that. Like the 1990s Dracula from what's he called? The Godfather director. Oh my God, my brain is standing still. Coppola, Francis Ford Coppola. Jesus Christ, where he really amped up the eroticism of vampires in that one, and I don't remember the book because it's 20 years since I read it, but more than 20 years since I read it. But he amped up the whole defying God part. Have you read Dracula?
That is part of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
It is though, yeah. But it's I think he ramped that part up, and I like that the gift and a curse thing. Here it's just
it's just basically a virus.
Yeah, and it makes you cool.
Yeah.
There's very few drawbacks. It seems other than shit.
Only the little tiny details that they kind of mention is the whole like, oh, I've been around for a very long time, and obviously she doesn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
That's about it. But they don't really touch on that properly. It's just kind of mentioned in passing and then totally forgotten.
Yeah.
Because this movie isn't about the vampire. The vampire is just an obstacle.
Well, it kind of becomes about the vampire in the end.
Which
I liked the movie. I liked the movie pretty good. It was fine up until the final act, I suppose. Yeah, final battle. When
his father walks in, or just before that?
Well, the whole. How far into this are we?
The whole Frank thing?
10 minutes. The whole thing with Gus Fring when he shows up again. You know, the big twist. Yeah. Are you like
the name threw me off?
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name. It's
Lambert?
No, yeah, Lambert. What's the actor?
Giancarlo
Esposito. Right. Lambert, the guy who hired.
Pull up the IMDb.
I have the IMDb up. I'm sorry.
Scroll down to the actors, please.
Whatever. Yeah. Then first of all, they've killed off all. We're gonna edit that part out. First of all, a lot of the humor is gone from the movie at that point.
Yes.
And it becomes like, because now
it's somber and serious.
Yeah. Now it's all about our main character, which is the absolute most boring character in this movie. And I hate this movie, like I mentioned before, it's full of cliches. Not just vampire cliches and horror movie cliches. It's full of, like, screenwriting cliches. From this, like, people who grew up on 80s movies. Mm-hmm. People who grew up on the new Hollywood. Like, that you have all these cool characters. Like, they're funny, they're weird.
They're very specific.
They're specific characteristics. But then your main character, that's also what happens a lot in video games. Your main character has to be more like the straight guy, the straight man, or in this case, the straight woman. Which means you're boring because you're not funny or weird, and you got to play it plain. Yeah, exactly, and have a troubled past. Which, I mean, all of these characters has, but for some reason she's the only one who's like, well, I'm still haunted by it, unlike you other people.
Yeah.
And it's the fucking most boring character. It can be done well.
Yes.
Here it was just boring. Melissa Barrera here. Her acting was fine, but her character was god awful.
I feel like that's the kind of, like, when you try to make a character that the audience can relate to, so they can, like, insert themselves. But that's not the point of a movie.
Yeah, well, it is sometimes.
In a
movie like this, it's just supposed to be, fun, horror splatter stuff. So make all the characters fun. Like, I don't
something. Each one needs a characteristic.
Yeah, I don't relate to Colonel John Matrix in Commando. He's like this big Superman, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun to see him flip cars over, or rip a phone booth out of the ground with a guy in it and throw it across the mall. Like, that's fun. Make the character fun. That's why the other characters were fun. So when when the twist came, I was like, yeah. When the twist came towards the end, spoilers. There's a twist. Can you believe it? In a Tyler Gilpin.
There's more than one twist, because the twist we see in the trailer is not it.
Sorry, Matt Benitelli-Olpin Tyler Gillet movie. Yeah, there's twists. Wow, we haven't seen that before. That's also their style is very predictable at this point.
Yes.
But yeah, that twist, I was like, but then they went back and did the fucking same thing they always do. It was like, boring.
Yeah, it could have changed a few things.
It got boring towards the end. And I can't really say much more about, like, the movie, like, technical stuff. Like, cinematography was fine.
Nothing special.
Nothing special. It did its job.
Yeah.
Too much handheld stuff. Because they were like, we just gotta cover conversations. Don't do it handheld. Just do locked off shots.
Some of the the structure of the movie was a little bit off, in my opinion, because we had like 3 moments of characters literally just sitting down and telling things about themselves or guessing things about the others, kind of thing. And it was a weird way of like breaking up the movie in parts.
Yes,
I didn't like that. I didn't like the whole tell not show.
Yeah. Well,
because it happened too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and we didn't really need that. That was the like, oh, we're past the funny haha stuff. Now it's serious. Okay, guys, now it's serious. Because we actually do care about these characters. Like, no, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Anyway.
Literally, we did not need to know anything about them.
No, that was the whole point.
It didn't change anything.
That the fact that they had code names was perfect. And we got a little bit like, obvious, like, this guy's the brute, this guy's the brains, this girl's the hacker. Like, that's fine, because that's, things, what they do. But more than that, no, we didn't. We didn't need that. But you have to add that stuff in.
Yeah.
Music was fine. They mainly used the Swan Lake.
Yes.
The ba 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 ba, that part that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And then
from
one
the
song, and then one song from Glenn Danzig when the girl was dancing at one point. I don't know the name of it. I didn't Shazam it. I don't want to pull out my phone.
Oh, when she was dancing on the stage at home.
At home?
Well, yeah.
What do you mean?
With the.
No, wasn't that Swan Lake as well? When she's dancing and puppeteering the other one.
Oh, right, that
one. The rock
one.
Song.
Yeah.
Glenn Danzig. Yeah. And I did appreciate that they referenced like stars from the 50s without really telling us until they told us, which was because they all have there's Sammy Davis, Frank Sinatra, Jerry, whoever else they're in the Rat Pack, and they're like, oh, my pack of rats. And I was like, really, in a 2024 movie? Like who's gonna get that unless you're like born in the 70s, But then they do tell like, oh, I got the Rat Pack joke now. I was like, oh, damn it. Anyway, did you get it at first?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay. Yeah,
I barely know what the Rat Pack is.
That's why they had to tell you, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But even then, it didn't really.
Oh, okay. There was
help, to be honest. So was just. Whoosh,
there was this gang of stars.
I
know
50s. What the Rat Pack is, but I've heard it, but I've never looked it up. I've never cared, if I'm being honest. Still don't care, if I'm being honest.
Let me just see who was in it. So, informal group of entertainers, the second iteration of which ultimately made films and appeared together in Las Vegas casino venues. Errol Flynn, Nat King Cole, Mickey Rooney, Frank Sinatra. There's a lot more people here, but Sammy Davis Jr., like I mentioned, Dean Martin.
Yeah.
Lauren Bacall was part of it. There's a lot of that. And then in the 80s, we had the Brat Pack. Which they tried to make the same thing, which was a lot of people from St. Elmo's Fire and what's the one when they're in the detention? What's the movie?
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, Breakfast Club. You had Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Muller Ringwald, and Ali Sheedy. And then of course the more the even more obscure Pussy Posse. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
That was it was Leonardo DiCaprio, Spider-Man, what's his name?
Which Spider-Man?
The one from the 2000s. Andrew Garfield wasn't with Leonardo DiCaprio. What's his name?
No, it's Tobey Maguire?
Tobey Maguire, yeah. Tobey Maguire and his friend Lucas Haas. They were called the Pussy Posse.
Why?
Well,
they got around.
They got a lot of ladies hanging out with them.
Okay, fine. What the hell does that have to do with Abigail?
I just thought of the Rat Pack, and I want to talk about the Brat Pack, and then I thought of, and then we have, of course, the Pussy Posse. Harmony Korine, yeah. David Blaine was in that, yeah. Kevin Connolly, Ethan Suplee, I didn't know that. And occasionally
Sarah. I recognize those names.
Anyway, back to Abigail. Movie. Sorry.
Well,
that was also me just wasting a little bit of time.
Fleshing out the movie.
Yeah, no, because now we're at the 20-minute mark, which means we can start the spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually we wait 20 minutes. Because I didn't really have much more to say about the movie, in those big.
No, it's a fine kind of horror film.
Yeah,
you know, it's nothing special.
It was a horror comedy that made me laugh, though. I laughed a lot.
Yes.
Mostly at Kevin Durant, but all of them were funny at points.
I like Catherine Newton and her character a lot.
Yeah, she was good, but he was just spot on all the time. He was great.
Yes.
Dan Stevens as well, but he wasn't supposed to be funny all the time.
No.
Everyone was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, from now on, we're gonna nitpick, so that means spoilers. So if you don't want any more spoilers, turn it off here. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Here we go.
You have been warned.
You have been warned. So,
shoot.
Yeah, when everyone has been killed, except for Joey and, what do they call him, Frank? Frank.
I didn't like that they kept the code names after Abigail revealed their real names. That got confusing to me.
It would have been too many names to remember. They already called them Sammy, Frank, Rickles, and whatever, you know.
Yeah,
We're
sure.
gonna switch names more than halfway through the movie. That would have been.
It got kind of confusing to me, to be honest.
I thought it would have been confusing if they switched names. I don't even know what their real names were. Ana Lucia, and that's it.
Sammy was Jessica. Frank was Adam. Peter, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And Rickles was dead by then.
Yeah, exactly.
Dean as well.
Anyway, I thought, like, oh my god, this is a perfect moment. First, I thought maybe when Carl Esposito turns up, like, haha, I am actually a vampire as well, and I can turn you into a real vampire, and we can fight off Abigail and her dad and take over their criminal empire. I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. So turn Frank, turn Joey.
Band up.
Yeah, and you like have this big fucking brawl at the end of the movie. But then, yeah, he turns Frank, and, you know, because she's the good guy, she's like, no, I don't wanna, and they're gonna kill her instead. But then Frank backstabs Giancarlo Esposito, Bartlett, whatever his name was. Lambert. He's in 2 scenes. I can't remember.
There's like 9 characters in total.
Yeah, but
2 died kind of early.
They mention his name once, like when he's in the room. When he's in the room.
Yeah. Sure.
Whatever. And I was like, okay, fine. But then I was like, yeah, they're not gonna. Frank doesn't want to be partners with Joey, so he's gonna have to kill her. And I was like, but then she's of course gonna win over him because she has a son to take care of.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
And I was like, what if they twist the twist there and he just kills her, kills Abigail, and takes over? That would have been cool.
Yeah.
But no, instead, Abigail takes pity on Joey because we pinky promised, and the girls get it done and kill Frank. And it's like, ugh. Which is exactly the same ending of every Benitelli-Olpin Tyler Gillet movie.
They have a thing for the final girl.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But I don't
Especially
like
if she's
their
drenched
final
in blood
girls.
in the final scene.
Yeah, sure. I don't like their final girls because they're too cool to begin with.
Yes.
You want a final girl to be like in Nightmare on Elm Street.
It needs to be the underdog kind of thing.
Yeah, that she grows into this confident person throughout the movie. She starts out as a ditzy brat.
Herself.
Yeah, exactly. Here she's just like, oh, whatever, from the beginning. And boring. The most boring character lives. It's like, ugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. It would
have been fun if Sammy was the final girl, kind of.
Oh, yeah,
she was at least a little bit different.
Yeah, that could have been something. Yeah, exactly. It would have been different. Because, this is their 3rd big movie, and it's already starting to get,
repetitive.
Samey. Yeah.
I only had, minor issues with the fact that we have no clue what the hell kind of vampire this is supposed to be. And it got a bit annoying because they kept some of the original tropes and then they just threw out others, which is make up your mind.
They're playing around.
Like Sammy says, are we talking Anne Rice, True Blood, Twilight? What is this?
Honestly, I think it's 30 Days of Night. Because
most likely
garlic doesn't seem to bother them. They don't really have garlic in that movie, but But of course, sunlight kills them.
Crucifix isn't too bad, but sunlight does kill them.
Like,
silver doesn't seem to be an issue.
No. It's like Danny.
Stakes, I guess, but they never really...
No.
Like, they only stake, like, 2 people.
They kill
They're not
Esposito
original vampires.
Well...
Well, no, Frank is technically a real... That too, they have, like, 2 different kinds of vampires. Because you have turned ones and just bitten ones.
Yeah, ghouls or followers. I'm fine with that. Because that's always been a thing. They have, like, followers.
But isn't one of the, like, rules that if you kill your maker, you will die too?
I don't know.
Even for, like, turned ones? Like, Frank should have died when Lambert got killed?
No, because he became a real vampire since he drank a vampire's blood.
Yeah, but in some versions of vampires, even those kinds of vampires will die if the maker is killed.
I don't know. Whatever.
Sometimes but it could also be that the original has to be killed, so it would have been Abigail or even her father who had to be killed.
Yeah, and that's the problem there. Or the guy who turned him. And then we're going back all the way to, like, the original vampire.
Yeah.
So, can't really do that.
No.
It's the problem with it follows monster, like...
Yeah.
It's always going to hunt someone, because it has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then, but that was my main problem. Other than that, yeah, it's a bit start and stoppy. All the characters are quirky. And this is this...
Except, I guess, Rickles didn't really have a quirk. He was kind of boring.
Yeah, he was kind of boring. That's why they killed him off pretty quickly. They didn't know what to do with that character, so like, he'll die. Basically off screen.
They hinted at, like, a romantic involvement, but then they're like, nah, fuck it, we'll kill him instead.
Yeah.
I gotta look, though. Yeah, I was wondering if, because Angus Cloud, the actor who portrayed Dean, the getaway driver, he died in July 2023. But he was apparently, I had to look it up, but he was done with all of his scenes before the production was shut down, before the strikes. But yeah, they didn't finish the entire movie until after his death, apparently. But he was done with his work, so it's not like they had to, like, rewrite it or anything for him. I
mean, it didn't really matter. His character it was obvious why his character died the first.
Yeah.
They didn't even like when they explained all the other characters. They were like, "Nah, I'm not gonna explain yours." It was like, "Oh, why not?" Well, because they didn't have anything for that character. Yeah, exactly.
We don't need to care.
So, I was gonna say, the style of writing is this, like, post Joss Whedon quirkiness all over the movie. It's not as bad as his writing, which is awful. I've never liked Joss Whedon, and that's not just me saying it because he was cancelled. There are, if it's available on the internet, I made a Swedish language podcast like 10 years ago, before he even made around the time he made Avengers. I was like, I don't like Joss Whedon. He made Firefly, and Firefly is bad.
Yeah.
I disliked his writing back then, so I'm just saying. No, but his writing, which has then been copied in all the other Marvel movies, and because that's such a big part of Hollywood right now, it's permeated other people's writing style, and it's all still quirky. And I don't mind quirky, but it's this whippersnapper, quippy, like, I wish we could be done with that.
Yeah. I like it at times.
Yeah, it can be. It is fine to a certain degree. And this one isn't as bad as some of his stuff. And even directors and writers that I like Taika Waititi has that problem in certain movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Disney stuff, because it has to sound like a Disney movie. or Marvel movie, but Disney movie. But then you have characters like Sammy who were not really like one of those characters. He's pretty dumb. I mean, and he's not he's quippy in a different way. Like, he's funny. Like, you laugh at him, but he's lovable as well. Now, every character shouldn't be like that, but I mean, like, they can write other stuff. So I wish the characters didn't really have their own distinct voice. They all felt that they were written by the same person. You know what I mean? You could tell it was written. Like, Frank, Sammy, and Joey basically sounded the same with different voices.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're basically the same character, just,
Yeah. It was boring. It wasn't that bad, but I noticed it, and it was like, I got annoying at a point.
Yeah. No, like I said, this is not, like, by any means a fantastic movie. It's not elevated of any kind. It's not a great film. It's just a good movie. Fine movie, even, I guess.
What?
It's just a good movie, or like a fine movie.
Fine movie. Okay.
It's not. It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. No,
Nothing
I agree.
special.
I agree.
But I did really like a lot of Abigail, the character Abigail, and her dancing around in her ballerina outfit and being creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
I really appreciated that.
As we were leaving the theater, there was a couple that walked past us, and the girl was like not super goth, but obviously she was like a little, goth-ish. Yeah. She had the plateau shoes, the leather jacket, the super tight, hair, yes, and the tight black jeans. I was like, yeah, she really liked this movie. I promise you, because that's like goth, or that goth / emo / scene, which is kind of the same thing now. Real goths would be super angry at me for saying that. I never understood like a movement that is really just an aesthetic. There's no there's nothing more than just the look. You can say, like, well, we're sad, but you're not. Not really. You're just a teenager.
No, you're just looking sad.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing, like,
it's
people...
Tumblr core.
Yeah. And people who like the vampire aesthetic, which is... That's what this is. Like I said before, this is just the vampire aesthetic. It's not the vampire thing, It's I never...
This is a funny mix of vampire aesthetic and ballet core.
Is that a thing? Ballet core?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Jesus Christ.
Well, I think it's kind of dying out, but it's the whole coquette, and it's a development of Pilates princess and shit.
Okay. And
too many layers to that, but ballet core was a thing.
You're making ballet and ballerinas like edgier and cool? Is that the thing?
No. It's just that you're making the things they wear and how they look trendy without actually being a ballerina.
Oh, okay.
Wanting to look like that without being a ballerina. We're actually attending ballet in any kind of form.
Yeah, okay. Just taking the look.
Just the aesthetics.
Oh, God, yeah. And like I said, this movie felt a lot like that. And it was also another symptom of modern movie making was that a lot of the scenes are perfect for this could be a great clip on the internet.
Yes.
Like the dancing to the Glenn Danzig song. Cutting between Abigail and Sammy. Like, oh my God, they're doing the same thing. And she's turning around and she's faintly smoking because there's like God rays of lighting. No.
When that scene happened, especially because of the composition of like being in a long kind of narrow room as well. I just thought of Megan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hallway dancing.
Yeah, exactly. That was another one. Was perfect for clipping to YouTube. That one worked better though, because that one was creepy. This was just like whatever.
Extremely weird. Yeah, this was just like, it's just
This is a TikTok video.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of modern movie making tropes that I don't appreciate, but overall, a fine movie, like you've said a couple of times. I don't know how much else I have to say about it.
No. I did appreciate that the runtime wasn't too long.
I don't even know how long it was.
An hour 49 with credits.
Okay, so like an hour.
And like we don't have, even though we have about 5 main characters for most of the movie. In total, there's only 9 actors in the entire film.
Yeah.
Not counting, of course, like the drivers, I think, that are in like the beginning.
But yeah,
of
sure,
the movie.
but extras, you know.
Yeah, they're extras. Like, we actually only have 9 characters with names, and one of them is literally in one scene.
Yeah.
Father.
Yeah, which was
Matthew Goad.
Matthew Good. He's in what else is he in? Is he Bruce Wayne?
He's
no.
Ozymandias in Watchmen. He's
right.
Saul Stoker in Stoker.
Oh, right. He's Ozymandias, right? And Stoker. Have you seen Stoker?
No, and I haven't read the book either. So
that's a good movie.
He was Simon in Silent Night.
Silent Night?
One of the dads, I think.
Which? Oh, right. Yeah, he's the main guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I knew. I mean, I knew him. I just couldn't place him. But yeah, Ozymandias was probably the one I was thinking of.
I'm guessing they just picked him because he's tall and slender and he fits like the classic vampire.
Yeah.
I did like that when he like relaxed his mouth, his 2 sharp front teeth kind of poked out, kind of like
Nosferatu.
Is it Nosferatu who has the pointy
rat
teeth?
teeth,
Yeah. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah. It's insane. Sorry, now I'm just looking at Stoker. Stoker is like a 10 out of 10 movie, but it got not an awful Metascore, but it got a 58. Sorry, 85 is good.
Wait, is Stoker the same as the book Stoker?
I don't think
the one
so.
you try to get us to read?
Oh no, that's Stoner.
Oh right, that's Stoner.
Yes.
Sorry.
Stoker is another thing. It's directed by Park Chan-wook, and written by Wentworth Miller, Mr. What's it called? Prison Escape.
Yeah. Prison Break.
Prison Break. That's he just decided to write this like super dark drama all of a sudden. Came out of nowhere. It's a great movie. I'm saying not having seen it in 10 years, but I remember it's like straight up 10 out of 10. It's so good.
Yeah, but he only got to write one more movie, and that one got a 31 Metascore. So
I know, but it just felt like he did this like cool dumb TV show, and then he just like wrote one of the coolest, like best movies of all time, like a real film, and then he just I'm done. Which is weird. We should do that at some point, so I can see if it's actually good. Sorry. Back to Abigail.
No, but that's about it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not very specific. It's not very great in any sense. It's just an okay movie.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot more to say. I have to say though, the staircase scene after Abigail is changed into like her proper costume.
Yeah.
With the thing in the hair and the tutu skirt thingy. That was my favorite scene. And she's like gradually putting everyone further down the stairs before they manage to sedate her.
Yeah, I like that because then the threat felt real for once. Instead of her just toying with them, she was about to actually get them.
And apparently, the actress Alicia Weir did like 95% of the stunts.
Yeah,
with just some wiring.
That's cool.
And all the dancing was based on her own skill set.
Okay.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I think she was the star in this entire thing.
Yeah.
I think she did great.
She was good.
No, I can... What did you say?
She was good. She never convinced me in the beginning.
This is probably like her first, like, big thing.
No, she was in a movie that we saw the trailer for, but never we didn't watch. But I've heard now from other people that it's really, really good, so we should watch it.
Don't Leave Home?
No, Wicked Little Letters.
Talking about?
Yeah, we saw the trailer for that. I'm pretty sure at the cinema a while back. It was like, this could be fun. The one about the ladies writing letters to each other and becoming lesbians in the
I have no memory of
early
this.
90s, 1900s or something. You don't? Oh, okay. I just remember, maybe I saw the trailer at home. I'm pretty sure I saw the trailer in the cinema, but then I don't think it actually showed up in theaters, so I don't know. But I heard from my friend that it was really, really fun, actually. So I don't know. We don't have to do it on the podcast, but I want to see it.
Add it to your watch list on
Yeah,
Letterboxd.
probably will. And she's in that. I don't know.
Sure, but she's not like one of the main characters.
No, this is obviously her big break, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll become.
I personally think she did a great job. She was the best part of the entire movie, in my opinion. She did great being like the little timid. They called it. They gave her two characters, sort of. They gave her Abby, which is the human, the scared one, and then Abigail being the predator.
Sure.
I think she did great switching through that. Because how old is she? She's
12.
She was born in 2009.
Wow. So she's 14.
Yeah.
15. Well, depends on when she was born. September. 14.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she did great.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. My award goes to Kevin Durant.
Sure, but he was a bit one note.
Sure.
But that's the writing's
At least it was funny.
Not the acting's fault.
I laughed at him. I winced and rolled my eyes more at Abigail. Because, like, a little girl vampire. Ooh, the juxtaposition. She's a little innocent girl, but she's also a vicious monster. Wow! I don't know.
Yeah!
I wasn't
That's
impressed.
The fun part, though.
It was, it's too, like, that's so fucked up, yo!
No, have we had that many, like, little girl
No,
vampires
not really.
being the big threat in the movie?
Not as the main
Like, sure,
character.
we have the scary little girl
Yeah,
being, like,
exactly.
the ghost or the demon or whatever, but vampire?
And I think the scary little girl is overplayed. It's done.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, that's true.
Like
This was a twist on that, trying to make
sure.
it something different, but it's not that different.
No.
Now the question is, what will we do as companion piece? Will we do
Stoker.
the only other little vampire girl that I can think of, or should we do more of Benitelli-Olpin and Gillet, Shields, music, whatever, people's...
Yeah, that would be Ready or Not, the only one we haven't talked
I
about.
guess, yeah.
And I don't have. It's basically, it would be the same as talking about this movie. Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't like the twist in the end. It's too quippy.
We do have one more thing we're talking about, though, so... Or hopefully.
We do?
If you finish the book.
Yeah, well, I can tell you. This is a follow-up from our Patreon episode. Check out patreon.com/NoMakeScene. I finished a book this year so far. Second
Yes.
book this year. No, first book this year. And I've actually, it was Carmilla, speaking of good vampire stuff.
Yes.
We did a little book review of that on the last Patreon episode. And after that, the day after, I started reading a book you lended me. Les Exorcistes.
Yes.
And I'm
trying to get you to finish it so we can talk about that one on the Patreon as well.
I don't think I'm going to finish it in a week. I'm not that fast yet. But I did read... This book actually started on page 1. Technically before
That's
page
true.
1. I'm on page 54. So
Okay, good.
that's pretty good for me.
It's a 400-page long book, but sure.
Yeah, so 8 days if I read 50 pages a day.
Eh.
But yeah, I'll try and do it until Monday so we can talk about that. Yeah, because of course we did our book review for Carmilla and compared it to the movie Alucarda, which is vaguely based on Carmilla.
Yeah, very different.
And then of course we've talked over and over again about The Exorcist because it's one of the greatest movies of all time. So I
want to talk about the book, comparing that to the
yeah,
movie.
should actually fucking read the book. So now I am. And you read it and you said it was really good. So like I should really read it. Yeah. And so far,
Anyway.
it's also kind of funny, like watching this, and they're like quippy, quirky writing, and like, oh, we're so cool and hip and modern, and then reading that, and it's like, oh, it's so slow and methodical and thought out. I just love it, and they haven't even got to any like suspicions of scary stuff yet. They have mentioned Mr. Howdy Doody. That's it.
Okay,
and the Ouija board scene. The knocking, but like no even hints yet. And I am.
You'll get to it.
I know. I am.
Even though you've seen the movie.
Exactly,
like,
but I am entranced so far. The book is really good. So
hell, maybe we should talk about a good vampire movie then instead for the patrons.
yeah, should we talk about
Or,
a good,
you know.
what's a good vampire movie?
I'll get back to you.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? Perfect way of ending this episode. If you want to find out about a good vampire movie, check out the Patreon episode.
We should do a Cirque du Freak, Vampire's Assistant. You don't even know what that is?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I just took the one with the dumbest name.
Don't be rude.
I don't know. I just know that John
It's a fine movie.
John C. What's his name? John C. Reilly is in it
Yes.
as a vampire.
Yes. It's a fine movie. It's teenage kids kind of fine vampire movie.
I know.
Don't
Kind of.
don't knock it till you try it.
It's a young adult. It's a book,
Yes.
right, from the beginning.
I think it's a book. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking here. We should do like you have like super art house, like Only Lovers Left Alive. Or of course we mentioned Bram Stoker's Dracula from '92, but you've seen that one, right?
Yeah. I've seen that hundreds of times.
Okay. What We Do in the Shadows, the original. Oh, now that's a good movie.
Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire.
Interview the Vampire. Yeah. Have you seen the original Nosferatu?
Yes.
Okay. Now that's a good vampire movie. Or like A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Do people remember that one?
No. I don't think I've seen that one.
No, I actually haven't seen it either. I remember it was a talk of the town for a while when it came out.
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't think I realized that that's a vampire movie.
Oh, okay. It's like an Iranian movie.
Let the right one in if you want to do a Swedish vampire movie.
Here's one. That could be interesting. It's Kronos from '93. I didn't know that was a vampire movie. It's Guillermo del Toro's first movie. Was a vampire movie. I didn't know that. Antique dealer Jesus Gris stumbles across Kronos, a 400-year-old scarab that, when it latches onto him, grants him... Oh, they cut it off there. Grants him what? Youth and eternal life, but also a thirst for blood. As Jesus enjoys his newfound vitality, he is unaware that a dying old man, Dieter de la Guardia, has sent him his nephew, Angel, Ron Perlman, to find the scarab and bring it back to him. But Jesus will not give mortality up easily, even risking the life of his orphan granddaughter. Oh.
Wait, I didn't follow along.
No. We'll see. We'll find some good vampire movie, like a really good vampire movie to talk about.
Yeah.
As a follow-up to this. But other than that, yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching, if you're here on YouTube. Be sure then to hit the like button, leave a comment, of course. You know, we need the engagement. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. Check us out on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene to listen to us talk about a real good horror movie, vampire movie. And we'll see you next week for something in the free episode.
Yes.
We haven't decided yet, because we have some stuff going on. You're moving.
Yes.
By the way.
Yes. The background will change.
Yeah.
Within like a week or two.
Yeah. But we'll do something.
Yes.
So check us out then. But until then, have a good one. Bye. The Spoilercast is part of Please Don't Make a Scene. It is produced and directed by Tobias Vedén and hosted by Tobias and Rebecca Vedén. Executive producer is Annika Vedén. I also want to give a huge shout out to all our patrons over on patreon.com/don'tmakeascene. Mom, Dad, Christopher Belén, Danny Del Gaiso, Mac and Mom, Laura Kinney, CK85.